So just a couple days ago, I was in a $25,000 venture fund competition where I had to pitch, one of my business ideas that I developed with one of my friends for over a month, in front of a panel of these respected investors and I was competing with really, a lot of other people who had other ideas, who wanted the same kind of money, who wanted the same kind of funding. And I didn't win the competition. You know, I failed. I was disappointed. It was my first business pitch ever. I've never done a business pitch before, but I learned it quite quickly on the fly. And I've been, even though I'm disappointed, I'm still proud of myself because that was the first time in a long time, um, really almost since high school, that, I really engage in a full-on battle of wits, competition of wits, talent, charisma, and planning with other people. And even though I didn't win, I felt the adrenaline. I felt it all coming back to me, back from middle school and high school when I led the math counts team, to place in middle school in my 8th grade year. And I went over to what they call the countdown round, which is like the playoff round. And they showed me these questions, and these people who I was competing with, these other Asian kids, were just so much better, so much faster, so much better mathematicians than I was. And I realized that even though I was at the top of my school, I was nowhere near the top of the league, the top of where I could be. I had so much untapped potential, and it motivated me to keep going throughout into my high school years when I became, a major player on the speech and debate team. I became an LD varsity debater, and I would take positions on all sides of issues and, disintegrate arguments and get disintegrated in arguments. And those kinds of things fueled me. It fueled my fire, it fueled my energy, it fueled my journey, my adrenaline. And those days, I've realized for almost 3 years now, those days haven't been appearing as much, haven't been appearing as frequently. In my college, at Davidson College, and many colleges across the United States, we don't see competition as a good thing anymore. We see it as something that hurts you mentally, hurts you dignity wise, something that, can spook you out. A lot of over concerned mothers are, railing against it, saying it damages your mental health. We don't want to be the best. We just want to be part of a community or part of something. We just like want to be part of something. You can be part of anything, you can be part of the local anything club. Those are hobbies. Those are great. But it's not enough just to be part of something. If you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to be the best that you can be, you need to learn the virtues and the values of competition and of being the best, of engaging in acts where you actually have to go against other people and tell them, show the world that you are better. That's what made me into the person that I am today. Not saying that I'm the paragon of everything, but I do get one thing. And then that is the real world is not college. It's not a bubble where you can just pretend like everyone is your friend and everyone wants to support you and help you. You're paying $60,000 a year or X amount of money per year so that they do that. In the real world, you have to make that $60,000 somehow. In the real world, you have to compete with other people, and you have to be the best at what you do if you want to earn that kind of money. If you want to earn that kind of success, if you want to give yourself a chance to achieve your dreams. We believe, too many of us in today's culture, think that competition can only affect you poorly, that it's not good when you have winners and losers, that everyone needs to be a winner. That's not true. It is good when there are winners and losers, because losers are only losers for a battle, but they get stronger by losing. I lost. I admit it, I lost. And you know what else I also lost? Not just that business fund. I interviewed and got to the final four of a prominent consulting firm, and I lost that one too. And you know what the reasoning was? Because I was too domineering. I was too domineering in the group dynamic stage. Because there was a individual round which I killed, I destroyed, and In the group dynamic stage, there was a round that I didn't know how to proceed because for the entire time that I was studying for this consulting job, which it turns out it's not something I want to do, or it's something I'm still considering doing, but it's not something that I'm currently aligned in my path towards doing anyway. But it turns out that you need a lot of that teamwork building skill, and I failed to see that my first go around, and so I lost. I'm not saying that I'm a bad team player. I'm just saying that I failed to show it at that particular moment in time in a high stress, anxiety inducing environment. And when you haven't prepared, as I didn't, in that kind of environment, you're going to get shut out, or you're going to act improperly. And that's just what happened. But, yeah, I was a loser. But there's this great quote that that this guy in The Office, Robert California, season 6, says when he enters into the office and he selects some people from the office and takes them out to lunch, and then leaves other people inside the office, and the people outside the office, see their new boss and are like, what does he think of us? He left us in the office, and he comes back and he's like, I don't want to give you like poor cues. The people who I selected to come with me, I believe, are winners, and the people I left inside the office, I believe, are losers. Winners prove me right. Losers prove me wrong. You're not a loser forever. But the only way you can determine where you are and where you need to improve is if you engage in competition with other people, is if you see the winners, is if you partake in the sufferings of being a loser so that you can be inspired to become a winner. Because those are not the days that you're a loser forever. This is not some mental health thing. This is a dignity thing. I read this article the other day that said, if you want to be the best, if you want to have experienced true success in your life, you need 3 things. 1, something that you're good at. 2, or something that you're the best at. 2, another thing that you're the best at. And 3, another thing that you're the best at. It's not enough these days. It's not enough these days to be the best at just one thing. You need to be the best at 3 things. That's how the most successful people are. It's not enough just to say, oh, I'm a good writer. First of all, you have to be the best writer. And second of all, you have to be the best at 2 other things too if you want to be successful. You have to be the best at writing and marketing yourself and business. That's how you can become a great author. If you want to be a great politician, you have to be the best at political philosophy, sure, sales, yes, and fundraising, absolutely. You have to be the best at all of that. If you want to be the best academic, you need to be the best at, sure, your field, 2, politicking, and 3, teaching, lecturing, researching. We live in a world where you have to be where it's increasingly competitive to get to the place where you need to dream. And we're producing people who don't believe in the values of competition anymore, who don't believe in the values that losing makes winning. If we want to get our nation, our culture, our people back to where they need to be, we need to embrace the values of competition. And we need to start saying, if you want to be good, you have to be the best. And yes, there are winners and losers in the world. But the great thing about the world is that they're not there forever. I was a loser the other day, but not for long. Thank you.